On a hill in the north end of Crockett, Texas, are the crumbling remains of a grand, seemingly out-of-place structure. The four-story Second Empire building towers over the surrounding landscape, and although it's been abandoned for 50 years now, when it was conceived, it was a revolutionary institution for the state of Texas. This is the Mary Allen Seminary, and in 1886 it became the first college African-American women could attend anywhere in the entire state. A century later, it would find itself suffering both disaster and scandal, leading to its drawn-out and eventual demise. Let's explore the fascinating history of the Mary Allen Seminary and examine just how pivotal it was both to Crockett and the state of Texas over the course of its life. Crockett is a quiet town in East Texas, about 2 hours north of Houston. It is in many ways the prototypical East Texas town. Home to 6,000 people, it is one of the oldest incorporated towns in the state, named for Davy Crockett, and is tucked away from major highways among the region's rolling pine hills. Crockett had been a Confederate training center during the Civil War, later gaining a railroad and thus joining Texas's timber boom. The concept of a school for free African-American women started in 1885, about 20 years after emancipation, conceived by the Board of Missions for the Freedmen of the Presbyterian Church. The group was led by Reverend Richard Allen with significant effort from his wife Mary. Crockett was a strategic choice for the school. It already had a large black population and an existing black parochial school. Mary Allen would die unexpectedly before the school opened, and it would be named in her honor. The first staff arrived in 1886, with the building completed the following year. Founded and initially staffed by white Presbyterians, the school became the first secondary black school women could attend in the entire state of Texas. It was a combination boarding and day school, enrolling a total of 152 students by 1889. It initially provided a liberal arts education before shifting its focus to vocational training, still starting each day with Bible study. The school building is built in the French Second Empire style with 18-inch brick-bearing walls and a mansard roof and a monumental tower on the entrance side. Despite its prominence, neither the architect nor the builder is known. You can see here, despite the building's evident decay, just how grand it was, especially for a small town in East Texas. At 4 stories, not including the top level of the tower, it stands above every other building in the town, even the county courthouse a mile to the south. It was also ornate in a way not typical for buildings in this part of the state, and in the 1880s, unlike anything the town had seen. From 1924 to 1932, the school was overhauled under the direction of Reverend Burt Randall Smith, who succeeded in receiving state accreditation as a co-ed junior college, allowing students to receive state teaching certificates. He was the school's first black administrator and also hired the first black staff. Smith passed away in 1941 just as the U.S. was entering World War II. World War II triggered a major drop in enrollment at the school. In 1942, the school was closed for 1 year after failing to become a state-funded black college, but was reopened by the National Missionary Baptist Convention 2 years later. Under the Baptist administration, the school became a 4-year college in 1945 and added a hospital and a men's dorm in 1950. Just 3 years later, it was rocked by scandal when the state revoked the school's accreditation after an alleged degree-buying scheme, an event that would kick off the school's decades-long demise. The institute failed to regain accreditation in 1959. In 1962, Hurricane Carla took out much of its central plant as well as part of the tower of the administration building. It was also plagued by a fire in 1970 that took the campus as McMillan Hall. In addition to being rocked by scandal and misfortune, Mary Allen also faced growing competition. Opportunities for higher education changed drastically for black women over the 20th century. The school competed first with the state's black land-grant colleges, some of which were co-ed before 1900, and later an increasing number of both private and public colleges admitting women and African Americans for the first time. Enrollment had significantly dropped since its heyday, and was finally shuttered in 1972, now closed for over 50 years. By the time it closed, the campus had amassed several additional buildings that can be seen today in some capacity, but the administration building remains the crown jewel. That being said, the effects of the past 50 years of weather have really taken their toll on the structure. The roof is nearly entirely gone, and you can get a glimpse into the once equally grand interior of the building. In some places, the wood floor structures have collapsed down to the foundation. On the northwest corner, the entire structure has collapsed. The little remaining tin roof crackles in the breeze. Nonetheless, the legacy endures. The building was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 2014. There is an ongoing effort to revitalize it as the Mary Allen Museum, currently led by Sam Houston State University's Dean of Students, Dr. Thelma Douglas, who continues to raise funds and support for this ambitious but exciting project. But for now, the building sits disintegrating in the north end of Crockett, towering elegantly if decrepit over the surrounding landscape, standing as testament to the pioneering place it was a century and a half ago. Scott Daly here. Thanks for joining me on my exploration of the Mary Allen Seminary. It truly is a fascinating and beautiful building with an intriguing history. If you're ever in Crockett, stop by and check it out. As always, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel and come with me on the next adventure.